boom, right now you're locked into this video. Click off, just click off, just click off. No, you can't because you're locked in. All right, you feel inferior right now to your friends. You feel inferior to your colleagues. You feel inferior maybe even to your family. How shitty does that feel? It feels like the sky behind me feels gray and gloomy and smoky. It does not smell very good. It doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth. And the reason why I know this so well is because I was exactly the same. No matter if I was playing hockey, no matter if it was in social situations, I always felt inferior. I'm going to dive in deep in a second to understand why and how we can fix it. But right now, I just want to make the next 30 seconds to connect with you because I felt the exact same way. I felt like shit. I felt like I couldn't ever be at the level of people who spoke fluently. And that ruined so much of my life. And I thought it was because of my stutter. I really did. Or I thought it was because I was too thin, or my frame wasn't wide enough. I honestly thought that. My frame's not wide enough. I'm not going to be respected. I feel inferior. Even with small children, 5, 6, 7 years old, when I would talk to them, or when I would just hear them talking, I would feel inferior to them because they were fluent. Even when I was watching a TV show, I would feel inferior and I would feel anger and frustration to these actors because in my head, I'm like, they don't know how lucky they are to be able to speak like this. So no matter what situation I was in, this gloominess followed me and I felt so inferior no matter where I was. And if you are in the same way, or if you're just kind of in one situation you feel inferior, but others you're all right, this still does apply to you because it does follow the same principles. So let's dive into why right now you feel inferior. And let me tell you, it's not because you're stuttering. If you think it is, you're wrong. You're just straight up wrong. I'm going to tell you right now why. Go use a technique. Go use a speech fluency technique. All right, Chase. Now, I'm talking like this. And you're right, Chase. I still do feel inferior. But it's because of my stutter. If I didn't have a stutter, I wouldn't have to talk like that. So I guess it's not like I do speak fluently when I'm like that. So I guess it's not because of my stutter, but it's because I have to act a certain way that's not true to me. And that's why I feel inferior. And that answer is actually a lot closer to the truth. It's not fully true, but it's a lot closer to the truth. You feel inferior because you're not being authentic. You feel inferior because you can't talk how you want, to who you want, when you want, and say the words you want to say. So of course you're going to feel inferior. But with that knowledge, with knowing that it's not because you stutter, but it's because you're not being authentic, we have so much power now. We have so much power to change it. It is now in our control. And I want you to realize that it's in your control now to feel inferior, to not feel inferior. But right now, the onus of power, the control you feel is lost. It's in every other thing. It's in TV movie characters. It's in your friends. It's in your family. It's in your classmates. It's in your coworkers. All the power has been spread out to these people externally. So if you get a weird look from them, you will feel like shit. If you stutter and you see that they're confused, you'll feel like shit. Even if you stutter, you'll feel like shit with no one looking at you. All the power is external right now. And of course you're going to feel inferior because right now your emotions are frankly shit. Your emotions and your thoughts are shit. And we all know what we feel inside is what we perceive the outside world to be. So if we feel like shit, of course, we're going to be in a shitty mood and the world outside will look like shit to us. If we feel amazing, people are smiling at us, this certain situation that happened, it happened for a reason that just made me happy. Like, it's because you felt good inside. But right now, your external awareness, your external validation you're getting in is being filtered through shit. So of course you're gonna perceive it as shit. Since you feel like shit inside, no matter what happens in any situation, no matter what happens anywhere, you are going to perceive it as something that you don't want to happen. You're going to perceive it as negative. So the fact you're trying to do this alone right now makes zero sense, because every kind of validation you're getting, every like seeking of approval, of acceptance you're getting is not fulfilling you as it shouldn't, but because you feel like shit inside. And it's because you're giving your power outside. So what's the solution? You understand now. Yes, Chase, all right, I get it. To recap, I feel inferior to friends because I right now feel like shit, and I am seeking approval and acceptance and validation from external sources that are getting filtered through shit. So of course I'm gonna feel like shit. That's just how it works. All right, but now what's the solution? It's very clear. It's very simple, but it's not easy. It's to switch that power from external to internal. You dictate when you feel good. But the key on this is you're not going to dictate any outcomes. Any outcomes are external, all right? You are going to strictly dictate the actions you take. And you're going to say, if I take X, Y, Z actions, I will allow myself to feel good. Even if you feel like shit, even if you feel inferior, even if you feel like this is not right. If you said you're going to take this action and you did it, no matter how much you stuttered, no matter how much you feel embarrassed, no matter how many weird looks you got, the fact that you did it, say you won. Say you won. And a little bit of good emotions will come. And then do it again. A little bit more emotions will come. Good emotions will come. And sooner or later, imagine having the power of one thing that would normally make you feel like shit, say stuttering with a group of friends, or stuttering to your parents or teachers. Now, what if you are able to feel good when that happens, because you dictate that power, and you say, Chase, that's not possible. How can you do that? How can you feel good when you stutter? I used to believe the same thing. But I'm able to stutter and now feel good 99% of the time. I now have allowed clients to stutter, to be free, to be authentic. And if they do stutter, damn, they still feel good, because their external sources of good feelings their good feelings do not come from external validation, through external acceptance, through external wins. It comes from internal wins that you are 100% always in control of. So you are always going to dictate how you feel about yourself and about your stutter, which will in turn cause less and less stuttering. You see how that works? It's very nice and very smooth. And if you feel like you can do this on your own, and if you feel like you can switch the power on your own, go for it, give it a try. But the truth is, how many times have you tried? The truth is, how many years have you wasted of your life trying to figure it out on your own? How many? Countless years, countless time, countless life has been spent hiding in isolation, worried, inferior, and feeling like shit. If you are truly, no dipping your toes in the water, if you are truly sick and you've already hit rock bottom and you said enough is enough, I want the path, I want the step-by-step system that will allow me to overcome my stutter, no longer get negative emotions when I stutter, no longer feel inferior to my friends, but I'm actually the light in the orb and the energy of the social situation, of the party, of the conference, of wherever you are. If you want to be that orb, if you want to be that freedom, if you want to be that expression, and you want to show your true fucking authentic self, you can tell I'm passionate about this. If you want to be that person, I have legitimately the step-by-step guide that has helped dozens and dozens of people who stutter overcome that stutter and become the most authentic and free version of themselves, including myself. Fall following the same process. So if you are interested in that, then DM me on Instagram or comment down below. My Instagram is cgstutter, and shoot me a DM, and we may be able to make something work. I am picky, but we may be able to work together. So if that's the case, I love you. But if that's not the case, I still love you, and I hope you got immense value from this video. And I love you. Peace.